Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Good morning. We're chilling. Got some liquidity here. Talk about some levels here in a second. This is our big seller right here. Right here. But I still think we end up going down here. We're going to find that out in a second here. Wow, this is very, very chill jazz right here. Having kind of a... There you go. Kicking that open. There's that opening bar. Got some aggressors here in pre-market. Don't want to really get too heavy into them, but I want to buy some down here at the 585. Let's see here. I'm gonna front run this a touch, but I do think we tap into this liquidity here. Just a little recap yesterday or last week. Well, we will recap later. This is opening bell, but this is your pre-market range right here. So this range we're going to be interested in, and yeah. This is it. So that could have been my take here. Let's see if we get filled. There it is. There's the fill. See if we find some liquidity here. If not, I want be in at the 50s down here. Oh, I am down a little bit from last night's trading, but I actually still did pretty well last night. I was in the right areas. That's all that mattered to me. All right. We'll see. Is this liquidity going to pull through for us here? Huge bar, tapered volume on the second bar. Maybe run back up into the 20s again. We'll see. We close below this. I'm out of this one, and I may want to take a little petition at the 50s. Oh no, I didn't want to market buy those. I'm gonna need to market sell those. Oh, that ended up working, but limit buy. Thank you, sir. Okay. So we do have the seller still active into the close here. I know there's a buyer here right at this ticker, but we'll see if he holds. 4 seconds left. Close below him, so I'm out of this one. That was kind of nasty. Could have probably waited for a touch of a bounce, but let's see here. So we took out this pre-market buyer here. Aggress that. We might be looking to fill this gap, which would be a low gap fill, but let's see here. Maybe could have held this one for a little bit better pricing. Yeah. It's okay. We're going to get him. We're going to get him. All right, so that liquidity was there. We have a new buyer aggressing. That was the point right there. We're in the right money. We're in the right pocket. That's what matters. So being in the right pocket was important. All right. Let's see here. Big seller. Dumped. Would like to get back in maybe around the 30s-ish. 30s, 31. Let's see what this buyer does here. That was a little disappointing. All right, so selling tapered. And few points. See here. We start retracing up. I'm gonna front run this little. Get in here a little bit. We do a full retracement. That would be crazy in general, but I want the sweet spot here. All right. Let's see what happens. Not a new buyer yet. Buyer's chilling, hanging out. They tap our pre-market low on the other chart here, so selling kind of increased into the close. We're gonna see here. Yeah, 580. Yeah, really need the DOM here, but I do need the DOM here. All right. Let's see. I should get market depth. I don't know why I don't. I should get it. All right. So let's see here. This is really jazz. This is really like true morning. Some morning jazz right here. Kind of digging it. All right. Not a new seller aggressing here. We are tapping back into this liquidity. I almost want to take one long here. There's not a new seller that's engaged. There is selling that's happening, but I'll wait. I'll be picky here. Might be able to take one at the bottom at 65. Really, I think that 71 was that area. 71 was that area, but let me see. This buyer is pretty active. Yeah. Now we have a new aggressor here. This is at the bottom of the range, so we could probably take this one up. See what happens. This is a 30-second anomaly, though. They're not going to be as strong. But we do have a new aggressor here. Still light volume, though. That's the other thing. That's the kicker there. It's we're light volume. So we do have a buyer here. Find out. All right. On the top step, we had our first 5-minute close. Just kind of tapped that pre-market low, and that's pretty much all that she wrote there. We're going to see if we break it, which it looks like we may break this. If we break this, I don't necessarily know if I want to be a buyer here at the 550s, but I'm going to be. It would bring my average down to maybe 70 area. I would look to cover at 70. We'll see. As you can see, this liquidity is holding strong. All this liquidity here, so we'll see. This one, it was such a strong close. Questionable here, because if I would have been the 1 minute, the 1 minute candle would have wicked this whole area. So this is a new seller aggressing into this area, kind of the same as the buyer, a little stronger than the buyer actually. I should have probably covered some there. Probably should have covered some there. Would have been ideal. Let's see.
Order filled.
I cover 1, 2. Okay, I'll hold on to 3 there. Just because of the aggressor here. So if we had cracked this aggressor, then that's great. We come up to where I think we're going to come up to. But just with how the volume slapped in, it's questionable. Plus, we have this big seller up here at the 601.25. As you can see, he's still really active. If anything, this is kind of making that pattern in the morning over here a little bit. Like, where was it? It was real funky. Like the inverse of that. Where was it at? Might have been on the 30 seconds. So this is very interesting. Actually, yeah, I'm going to cut those there. I'm going to wait for a little bit more better fills down here. Oh, wow. A little too. Oof. Oof. Pretty good. That was pretty good. Oh, I'm on the wrong channel. All right, here we go. I think I'm gonna go get some coffee this morning, to be honest with you. All right, so this buyer is still active. This is pretty choppy for this buyer. I'm assuming a lot of selling liquidity is being offloaded into here. We cracked this level though. I'm surprised that we're holding this top end of this level like this though, with how much selling is coming in. I'm gonna assume we're gonna come down to this next pool of liquidity. We'll see what happens here. All right, so a new seller aggressed here. This little pocket. Let's go over 5 minutes. This whole thing is going to be a new seller, pretty much. Yeah. New seller aggressed from here to here. So this is your new seller. This range here. We're gonna see how we close. Got a few seconds left in this candle. Would like to stay with trend. So if anything, sell here. That'd be my with trend selling. If we crack above those, that would be the I'm doing this small because this is it's pretty scalpy. Uptick in volume there should see us still float. If we crack above this person here, then this is an out. This is a clap. Only if we close above this area, this little zone here. So not a new seller. So this zone's kind of invalid. I'm gonna crack this trade here, even though this could still come down. This seller, although they're on the 30 seconds still here, I was expecting this bar to close red. Since it didn't close red, I get out of the trade. All right, let's see what's going on over here. Good morning, by the way. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Let's see here. This is too chill. Too chill. All right. Pre-market low, broke out, didn't try to go lower. Top pivot here. We have a possible bottom pivot here. This might crack this bottom pivot though. I'm assuming it will. I have a feeling it's gonna just dump. I don't necessarily know if I want to be. Hey, what's up, Coco? How are you? If all of this buying liquidity is happening over here, I mean, if this guy gets absorbed, this could really crack, like really crack the bottom end of this, and we might see. I don't know about that big of a dump, but maybe I'll play a little conservative at 41. 41 maybe, the bottom end of that. But if this guy gets cracked all the way, it's gonna be pretty heavy. Here's the crack. Let's see. I'll go small. I'll go small here. Front run him a touch. And then I'll play the back end of this small. And then we'll see if this is the 522. See if I can give me a little piece down here. All right. There's the spread. How's your day going, Coco? Is that early for you? Late for you? We're gonna see. All right, so on the 5-minute, we're cracking this, so not a new low yet. I mean, not a new pivot yet. So we do have a pivot. We almost have a pivot high. This will be our pivot high, but we'll see if we crack these lows here. All right. Javonte Williamson, been following trades for 2 weeks now, consistently good trades and setups. Oh, that's good, man. I hope you do well. I don't know which ones you follow, and not a recommendation, by the way. And none of these trades are recommendations. I'm not a financial advisor, but I do have the house blend strat, which is you know, this is like the nice back-tested strat. This one, you're gonna catch me doing more over trading. I might have more of the psychological battles in these trades, right? But oh yeah, nice, Coco. That's what I'm talking about. It's early for me. I need to get some coffee. 6:30 for me. 6:45. So here we have that buyer. See, it just missed me by a little bit. You see that buyer still aggressing here? Just missed me, but it doesn't mean it's still not going to come tap, because if this guy fails, we still come down. You need new buying interest above here. A new buyer above here for us to start cracking up into these areas. Otherwise, it's not gonna matter. Yeah, you know what? I started watching some ICT stuff over the weekend. Again, and the interesting thing, because people love ICT, and I heard my initial thing with him is that he talks too much, and I just, I'm like trying to sift through what he's trying to say. I feel like there's like this new terminology and not direct answers to questions. They're kind of like scenic route answers, and to me, in my ADD, that does not work for me. So I tried really hard to find some people that were like a little bit more, how do you say? A little bit more comprehensible. And what I've found out is that he is in line with liquidity on some things. Like this, for example, would be a fair value gap on a 30-second, right? From here to here, roughly, right? This is your fair value gap. But for me, from here to here is selling liquidity, right? So let me see there. So it's interesting how fair value gaps actually calls them fair value. To me, it's a demand zone or sorry, a supply zone where you're going to find that liquidity again. So again, we're starting to roll over here. We'll see if we tap into this area. If we crack this dude though, it can get really scary. That's why I'm 10 mine this 522, because if we crack heavy and then do a little rip up, but really I'm looking to be a buyer at the 460s level. That's where I really want to actually get involved down there. So this is going to be try and do a quick little grab on maybe 20 points. If it happens too early, we tap into this new seller coming in. See this new aggressor here? So that's a new aggressor. This morning candle too is a new seller as well. So call that this guy right here. We're going to see what's going to happen here. Now I got to keep an eye on the volume, but getting close to my buys. I'm telling you, I'm dealing with a little FOMO right now because I'll be getting, I don't know if you guys have been watching my streams, so I'd be getting missed fills by like 3/4 of a tick. I'm sorry, 3/4 of a point, 3 ticks, and it's been driving me crazy. This is more like 2.5 points, 4 points, whatever it is, but still makes a grown man want to FOMO a little bit. All right, so some of that buying liquidity got eaten up. Still have buyers down here though. I'm not over. It's just how many sellers are going to be here. We're going to find out. Yeah, Javante, what do you like trading normally? Trade NQ, what kind of strategies? Oh, okay. What would you call your strategy when you trade fast track? I see you use fair value gaps a lot and looking at both the 2-minute and the 5-minute. Yeah, so the 2-minute, 5-minute, I was using. Gotcha. You normally trade gold. So I chart fair value gaps sometimes, but all of this is not fair value gaps. It's honestly, although they're kind of like his order blocks and fair value. They're gonna align with a lot of them because order blocks typically have high volume. But this one I don't think would be an order block here. But that's the difference between me and him. I know that this is liquidity, so this might be not a true order block here, but I understand that this is going to be a great zone to sell up at the 655s. So just based off principle here. So we'll see what's going to happen. So this strategy, this is just, so the theory was I don't need the footprint or book map to understand that what players are playing here. I could look just by volume, because at the end of the day you have delta, you have cumulative delta, you have footprint, and you're looking for imbalances. Well, imbalances are pretty easy to see. I mean, obviously this one, for example, is going to have a lot of selling imbalances, right? Where there's just going to be mostly selling here. So you're assuming that the market's going to come back up and check you. By the way, with how this is consolidating into this level here, this is looking kind of scary for me to buy. Because if it cracks, it could crack really, really hard. So we'll see what happens here, but I'm still going to front run a little light here, but this is looking less quality here. So we're going to see what's going to happen as I get filled. So the idea is that we can get everything we need to know off of price action and volume. That's pretty much it. Now this is a little bit more of a, that's a 2 point. These bars are actually pretty big. This up a little bit. Bars are a little bigger than I was anticipating them. All right, so there we go. Got one fill there. We should find a little pool of liquidity here, although the quality is down when we're slowly falling into this area here. So the quality does go down here. By the way, we have a little crack here. This probably going to be a short setup on the 5-minute here. I would like increased volume though. Oh, there it is. So we'll see. I don't like the wick bigger than 50% either. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this one might be the first, which contradicts the trade I'm in right now on the other one. But as long as that wick's not below 50%, I'm taking it. So we'll see. All right, that wick is above 50%, so I'm gonna hold off on that one. All right, so we ended up getting one level there. I'm gonna we ended up finding the liquidity. See the liquidity right there? Yeah, no, mentoring for sure. I want to be, well, at least with this one right here, this new strat. This strat's a baby. This is an infant, so it's just working really well. I'm able to find liquidity, and which is amazing. It's amazing to even think that I found it. Kind of finding where the algos are going to kick in and whatnot. So we did take one up there. Now we're getting our second one. If this liquidity gets clapped though, I have to close out of these three, and I am going to be a buyer at the 22, but that's going to be very peculiar because that's the bottom of the gap. So the gap fill is down here at 480. So it's going to be a little sketchy if I hold 10 here. I wanted to see a fast flush and then come up. So that's what I was looking for. So we're holding the very, very bottom of this level, but this thing probably going to get swept here. If I had to guess, but I'm gonna stick to my initial plan. So this one I'm gonna half size a little bit. I'm not gonna go as heavy. I was holding that position for a huge bar. That's why I wanted that 2, 2, and 10 because I wanted to see a huge wick bar flush come back up. That's what I was hoping for. So the 10 would have been better in that context. But if we slowly just dredge into this buyer, the quality of this trade goes down. So, by the way, on the top step over here, I mean on the house strat, we got 3 minutes left in this candle. This was not a take for me yet, but if this candle goes red, I am going to take this short, the whole move. Take this whole thing short here. Unless it's the biggest bar of the day, which the biggest bar of the day currently is right here. Roughly 40 points. So we're going to see what's going to happen here. All right, so back over to here. I'm getting ready to clap this trade. We got 20 seconds left. If this rips up all of a sudden, I'm gonna get out. Well, get out of this if it doesn't rip up all of a sudden. So we'll see. Very bottom of this range here. Oh, that's tough. I still have to get out. All right. Even though that was a huge, nice wick there, it's still closed below my zone. I got to get out of the trade. Even though this thing could still rip up from here. But you saw that a buyer trying to aggress down here. Now that both of those zones have been taken, though, by the selling liquidity, I'm less apt to be down here. What just happened here with the wick, I wanted to happen kind of with a big candle. That was the position set up. So since it didn't happen, we're going to be okay. We're going to just speculate here and try and find a new position. We have a lot of selling happening here, increase in selling. So all of this is looking primed to continue short. So we're going to try and look for some short positions around this area. This is too soft for me. Let's just pick that up a little bit. All right. So let me find some new selling here. We have a new big seller. Let's see here. Not that one. Yes to this one. So this is a new seller aggressing this position right here. Right here. And then we're going to get our new candle here. So we're going to see how this one actually develops. All right. We have a crack open. This par can't be bigger than 40 points, really. I would prefer it's not. If it gets close, if it's like 43 or something, I'll take it still. But if it's not, then yeah. I understand that we're still pulling into this buying liquidity. It's still here from earlier. Both my buy levels where I wanted to get long off this gap. I don't really trade gaps too often on futures. So this was new kind of data for this strategy to see whether the liquidity was going to get a hold as well, which it did hold pre-market pretty good. These were levels I took pre-market and pre-market. But as we start to get in here, you could see that there's reactions off these levels, right? There was reactions off this liquidity, but it's just not the same. All right, we got 30 seconds left on this other chart here. So I am going to take this candle short, not a recommendation. And I'm going to be looking for this whole thing to be a measured move. Hopefully it doesn't close too big by the end of this. Yeah. So we're going to see what happens here. Not a recommendation. 2, 1. All right, so there's my first trade here. Gonna be putting a stop up above this 3-point stop at 90. Yeah, 95 roughly. And then we closed here, so going to be looking for, let's see. All right, gonna be looking for us to come down to the 483s. Yeah, 483s roughly. So being active here in this trade, this is how this one's gonna go. 50 points roughly. How much did this bar close here? Bar closed 20. Oh yeah, this is just fine. So not a recommendation. This strategy takes L's in some days. This is how it is. So this strategy is robotic. I don't do anything. I don't do any thinking. This one's just full-fledged. I don't, just let it ride, let it do its thing. So coming back to this chart now. So we have our new aggressor. This seller wasn't as real. So even though I know that they're selling liquidity here, let me get rid of some of this buyer. This buyer's getting dredged into here. So this buyer's all the way down here, and then there's no more golden zones in this pocket for me. So I'm not really interested. I want to find some gold zones here. Let's find some on the 5-minute. This would actually be gold, but it's not overlaid with the 5-minute. So this is not as good quality to me. Yeah, I would prefer to get short at the 583 up here. And let's see if we have an aggressor here. We do from here to here. So here's your aggressor. This is where I would like to get short again. So if we came back up to the 580s, I might try and, let's see here, 580, I might try and sell a few there. Then maybe on the halfway, the 88s. There we go. Put a little position there. You can still see some of this liquidity holding down here, but I don't know. Is this a new buyer? This technically is a new buyer. So this is a new gold zone here. Very tiny gold zone, but it's a gold zone nonetheless. A new aggressor there. Yeah, once I get Javante, once I get this strat kind of ironed and the liquidity, finding liquidity is actually fairly simple. Teaching how to trade around it, that's something I'm still learning how to do this right here. I mean, my P&L's showing it today. We should get this back though. We play it conservatively enough. I may want to take a little bit bigger, and we'll stick a 3. But yeah, trading it in action, that's different. So we have a new buyer aggressed again. So here you go. So we have a triple buyer here at this level now. So this level's getting looking a little better to buy from down here. So looking at the volume, we want to see, does this new aggressor outweigh the selling here from here to here? And it does look like it's pretty strong. So I think in total and volume, this buyer might be stronger than the seller. So I may back off a touch. Still keep him here. I'll keep him here. We'll see what happens. But this is a new aggressor from the buying, sorry. All right, so still on a trade on the top step. This trade I don't even overmanage. It is what it is. Haven't gotten or yeah, here's our first downtrend here. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. Broke the pre-market low, which is that yellow line, and we're gonna continue on. So we do have our big seller from here to here, but this is in the context of the 5-minute. So meaning I didn't chart a seller on the 5-minute yet over here. So this one doesn't really count yet. This one's still considered a micro seller. We're gonna see. I'm trading a little bit heavier size. So the 644, I was trading with like 10 to 50 10 to 50 micros. So 1 to 5 minis yesterday. So this wasn't actually even too bad. I may actually trade this again. This is a combine, so I'm on my express on my other one, so I'm going pretty light. Actually, I just made it do that anyways. Let's see here. I told myself I need to get a little bit more aggressive, so I was like, this is just gonna. Not that there's a lot of trading to be had, but there's some good setups that I kind of want to full port on a little heavier. 538. There we go. All right, let's see what happens here. So real buying came into play here. And you have another buyer here stepping in to this position. As you can see, this new buyer is aggressing, right? So I would like to get in down here a little bit if it came in swept this area for a touch. Play both of them. None of these trades are recommendations again. All right, so if we come up and rip up, I'm front running this downtrend a little bit more aggressive. A little bit more aggressive here. So another new buyer here. This little level here. So we're gonna see if this little bit of some overlap down here. This buyer's trying to take it up. See if I get my fill. I want to see it tap into this liquidity. I should probably have done like a 7 and a 3 instead of a full on 13, but we'll see what happens here. 4 seconds left. This buyer is not necessarily real. I'm gonna sell a couple here.
Order filled.
It's not. I'm clicking the mouse like 8 times and it's getting me for like 1. All right, here we go. Oh, that is a new buyer. Oh, that volume ticked up at the end. The volume was low and then all of a sudden it ran up. All right, so we should be dealing with a little bit of a seller in this range. Here he is right here. See if we get a little bit more than that. Come down to that buying liquidity down there. I want to see a little bit more than that. A little bit more than that. I'll take half off there. Take the other half off there. There we go. And then you have your buyer right here. So see, buyer, seller. So if it comes up here again, I'm actually going to sell again at 84. I don't know if I'm going to go as heavy though. I like going heavy on the first touch, not on the second one though. The second one's a little iffy there. So I got it to the tick. Caught this guy to the tick, which was nice. Always a nice feeling. See if we kind of dredge down to this liquidity down here maybe. The seller did activate, so that's a new seller, but he's still weaker than these buyers. So we want to see if this seller gets ran and we get up actually some strength. So we're gonna see what happens here. But new seller aggressed here on the small time frame. We don't really need these boxes. These are mostly for you guys to see. But really, this one stays because it overlaps into our 5-minute area down here. See what happens. See if we get a nice little push again down here to the 39s, 40s. So seller did uptick, which is looking good for the short side. But this is kind of eerie morning playlist. We're right in the middle of these ranges, but yeah, your seller did aggress right here. Still not real buying up into this yet. We'll see how what this bar does. Just kind of keeping an eye. Oh, I need to come take a little peek over here. So we did break the uptrend on the 5-minute, right? But since we're below pre-market lows, I don't count this as a break yet. So I have to wait for either another break or a retest of the extreme first. So I'm waiting for that to happen. This play's still valid until we get up to 95, so I'm not even concerned about this yet. But we do have our actual efficient break here, so we'll see. All right, back to the strat here. Now we did have that seller come in. We got close to the bidder. We have a buyer trying to take it up. I'm holding on to a few. I got my initial pop there, which was nice. I got a few $100 off that. I think that was maybe only like 20 points, 15, 20 points. So we'll see here. Again, I'm going to be adding to this short here. Still, this buying's not too crazy. I'm going to sell one more. We're going to see how this next guy. If this next goes crazy volume, yeah, see, this buyer's not too crazy. This is, the bar looked scary, but the volume didn't. So, if this next bar goes crazy though, and it's super green, and it might be a little more scary. All right, so yeah, this buyer didn't even. It's not even an order. This thing should get swept because this is not real. This is from this dude. This is not from himself. This is over here. This is the buyer that bought. Probably, if we were looking at the footprint chart, the buying probably came in heavy down here. I'm gonna sell two more here just because we're in those range. Oh, sell two more. Whoops, I meant to buy two more. Oops. Okay. Well, now it looks less pretty, but these are the two basically I fat fingered. So all the other stuff was take profits, but these are two fat finger trades here. I meant to buy, did the sell, it happens. So notice, you see that? So most of the buying probably happened down here at the bottom of this bar. And then as it came up, you didn't find new buying interest. So that's the way that cookie crumbled there. So my fill is actually up here. I got profits on all of those, but this one's, so really I should be roughly, actually I was right here. So I was right here, but I took that second one like right here. So this is actually where my fill is. Don't mind this crap. So I took the profits basically on all of those up there, but this is my actual fill at 74. These are just the fat fingers. So psychologically, it's amazing what it'll do to a fill. So still not real buying here. I'm going to sell another one up here. Still not real buying. Real buyers here. You see, it comes up, came down, came up again off the liquidity. So again, I shorted again because this volume's tapering. So we'll see. Okay, now if this volume upticks, we have a new aggressor to the buy side. I'm still going to sell here. I might sell a little less heavy though, because we're putting in these higher lows. We're going to see. Now, as for the house strat pattern over here, yeah, we're just staying. Yeah, you have new buyer, but we're not really worried. I'm not in any trouble up here yet. So, may sell one at 80. It's like a pre-market, but I'll just sell another one right here. I'm good with that. I'll sell another one right here. Average down a touch because it's still fine. I actually don't mind when trades revert. If we get back up at the pre-market range, start taking out above this seller though, that'll be interesting. All right. So let's see here. So 5 minute, this is a new 5 minute buyer right here to here. So with this retracement, so I'm actually going to turn this one. No, I'm going to draw another box here. This box green. And we have our new buyers at this level. So that may have been a good place to actually get in that order because I would be hard pressed to see us actually come down to the 540. If we did though, I still want to be a buyer down there. So we'll see. All right, so now we're going to crack up into this liquidity again up here. As you can see, we get a little rejection here. There's one of my fills. So for 5. And we're going to see if this level plays out here. So uptick in volume, new buyer aggressing this area, the selling. Should find some liquidity here. I'm not going to get out until we crack above 93. So we crack above 93, so I'm out of this trade. Not a recommendation, by the way.
Order filled.
All right, got filled for the others. Not a recommendation. So starting to crack up into this liquidity. If we close, which we got close to close, so we basically closed out of our gold zone here. So the gold zone's gone. We still have a seller. I really want to see us get above 93 for me to get out of this trade. But this buyer is aggressing pretty heavily. See that? Boom, boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. So this is actually looking good for buyers. So if this trade closes above this box, I'm out of this trade. If it rips back in, though, I'm staying. It's back in, so I stay. So this is that seller from earlier. Really, the 601's a big seller too, but we're going to see what happens here. Almost, by the way, almost got stopped out on my on this one. Very close to getting stopped out. One tick away from that stop. So let's see what's going to happen there. All right, so I'm going to, well, I should have covered a few there. That's where I should have covered a few. So we'll see. I'll still cover a few if it gets down there. Oh, we tapped into that liquidity. Still a new seller's aggressing, so this is actually a new seller now. Still should be okay. I'm gonna sell a few here, or I'm sorry, gonna buy a few here. Yeah, buy a few here. All right, just to minimize the risk, we almost took out this stinking seller here. All right, on the 5-minute though, we're still looking decent. So we're all the way up here now on the 5-minute. All right, so we are gonna expect buyers here. Volume did taper though, so I'm gonna take another couple off there.
Order filled.
All right, now really about this 38, I want to be a buyer. So we did hit this. You see the seller's still active here. That's why I want to make sure we close above this area first, because if we close above that area first, then I know all the selling liquidity is gone from this area. But since it's not, it's still active. It is what it is. Hold on to this trade. So, and the 3-point stop has worked like a charm in the past. So even though this has stopped, this isn't stopped. We're still active into this, and hopefully we get our fill down here at the 83. That would be really nice. All right, so now let's see. We're going to tap into some of this buying liquidity that's down here. We pretty much have swept. If we sweep this dude, it's going to look pretty good. But this buyer is trying to aggress here. Still going to hold on to the short. Let's see here. 1, 2, sell, 1, 2. Yeah, so this is your seller. I'm gonna see what's gonna happen here. Selling's kind of tapered off as this came down to this range here. We need a new seller to aggress in this area for us to get serious. But we hit the level right, we hit the short right. That's what's important. Your buyer's still here. So your buyer's here. This will be your little mini buyer, which he was up, but as you can see, when it wicked, the algos kicked in. Did you have a buyer here too? Yeah, kind of. You can call this a buyer too, I guess, right here. But not on the 5-minute, so I don't really count it. So I was in for, I think, 11 contracts. I took off 8 on the sell, holding on to 3. I may sell some at 84. Let's see. I'm a 1. I'll sell another couple. Oops. Sorry, I got filled for that one. I'll go right here. So you can see we tap this, volume decreased. So not a new aggressor in the buying. This buyer's from here still. Let's see if I get this fill here. Oh, missed it. Missed it by a tick. Now the worst case scenario on this strat, the worst case scenario is when we get like a 40.30-second bar. That's the worst. That's like, well, there's nothing I can do there. All right, so here we are. Now we tapped back in here again. So let's see if we get a little sell off this liquidity here. Buy volume tapering. I'm expecting all of this to get swept unless we find a new buyer. Tap back up into our actual real liquidity here. Let's see if we get a new aggressor on the sell side. Volume is picking up, but That was from some absorption down here. So seller got absorbed a little bit at the very end of that candle. So we're gonna see how this is gonna work. I'm gonna take a couple here.
Order filled.
All right. I want to go in twos. I don't want to go on by ones. So buyer's trying here. Took a couple off that second pull though. That wasn't bad. That was about 10 points, 8 points. This strat's just holding on. Back up in pre-market range. Trying to get back up there. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen here. If we get another break up here, a 2-bar break, then we're gonna actually start to look to the upside here. So it's gonna be interesting. On this one, I'm still gonna short, but it's getting more eerie to me. I don't know if I want to hold on as much. Still gonna hold though. I just don't know if I want to hold 4. All right, that's a little anomaly here. There we go. Let's see if we get a little crack. That buyer's trying though. Let's see here. I'll take 2 right there. I'll hold on to my other 2. I'm cool taking 2 on the chin if we crack above here, but 4 on the chin, that's a little heavy. All right, we're just slowly, we were down 600 earlier. That was from like pre-market stuff. We're getting slowly back to break. We should be break even here by the end of the day. So we keep finding these good liquidity levels. All right. Do need coffee still. See, this buyer is trying to aggress. I mean, you could say that this is the buyer trying to aggress here, right here. I mean, technically, this is your order block, right? This is your, isn't this your order block for ICT right here? See, I call it the whole thing though. See what I'm saying? I feel this way is more accurate because if you waited for the order block, you wouldn't have gotten the fill yet. So my way makes more sense in terms of liquidity because you're seeing the buyer aggress at this level. But still, I didn't love the volume. So I still think this this buyer gets ran through. I still think that. And I think we come all the way back down to the 38s, which I'll throw in some orders down there actually. Is it 38? 38. Let's see. Cast a little net here. What do we have? 52s. I'll be a little buyer at 52, 53 up there. All right. Yeah, that's kind of where I want to get. Might do a little bit more than this. There we go. Okay, so big buying volume. This was a little like 3-step anomaly here on the 32nd. If they're going to take it up, they're going to try and take it up right now. If they don't take it up now with that kind of absorption, this thing's going to run. So let's find out. All right, on this strat still, we're still kind of up top end of this range here. Very close to our stop. Very, very close to our stop here. Is that like 94? It's one tick away from our stop. I'm telling you that 3-point stop. Tons of back testing in it. It was always less than 3 points unless the move was over. So very rare cases. Like I'd say like 90% of the time. That's just a thrown statistic, but 90% of the time, for my back testing, just how I feel about it, 3 points was sufficient. After 3 points, the move was over. Okay, so we're getting multiple dojis on this time frame. You have a buyer trying to pick it up, can't get it. No new buying interest. Every time it comes up, it's getting sold into a little bit, but the sell volume's not too crazy either. You don't really have a new aggressor in the selling. This is your new aggressor right here in the selling, right here. So I still feel fine. If we sweep this seller, I think it's going to be all in one go. We're going to tap up into the 600s. I feel like it's just going to be a straight shot. But this is very interesting from a 30-second standpoint. Very interesting. Multiple buy-side anomalies, buying aggression. So here's technically like a buyer Oh, you can't really see it, but this is technically a buyer. This is technically a buyer. I feel like the algos are working overtime right now. You have the selling liquidity from these guys still. As you can see, we're selling into them. You have this buy side player here, right here. You tapped into a little bit, but you're playing between your two players right now in the market. I'll just keep these guys green and red for right now, but these are both yellow zones because they're off the 32nd. But it's a very tiny supply and demand zone. They're both trying to take their positions up. So we'll see who has a little bit more strength. Personally, I would like it to go short, but it is what it is. So tapping up into this a little bit. Still, that was very low volume. We need to see some new volume up here. Should probably short again. We'll see. I don't want to get cleaned here. 592. Should I sell a couple on the back end of this? Oops.
Order filled.
Oh, well, double. Oopsie.
Order filled.
I want to be in for 4 here.
Order filled.
All right. Now let's see. That ended up, I didn't mean to get out of that trade. I meant to add more to that trade, that short. Okay, huge buying volume, but a lot of that was absorption. So we tried up into this area again where we knew there was going to be sellers. We're going to see now, is this buyer serious? Again, if we crack above this level, I'm going to be out on my top step, and I'm going to be out of this trade here if we crack above the seller in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness, they're teasing me. This is like worst case. I don't want to like be a holder. There we go. Got stopped out on the top step, so we're down for 1 today on that one, which is okay. All right. 30 seconds left. Let's see what happens here. 3:13. Sorry. I don't want just a massive bar. That would suck. I'm only in for 4 though. It's not that big of a deal, but need to find some actual sellers here. But all of this is just crazy liquidity. This whole thing's like a gold zone here. Did we close? Look at this. But we closed. Okay, I'm gonna cut that trade. All right, so right before we iceberg and drop all the way down. Oh Lord, it happens. All right, so this guy's gone. From a 5-minute though, this guy's still here. Yeah, not gonna hold on to the 5-minute context of that. These are gold zones. That was a seller that got taken. Let's go look at the buying. What's happening with the buying here? Still, this is still, if I get 1 ticked here on this trade, that would suck. This is the real selling liquidity up here. This is the where sellers are at, but it's all right. If it gets a little funky, I'm just gonna wait for things to clear up. If they wanna duke it back and forth, that's on them. All right, so all I can do is kind of read them all. What's up, Samu? Good morning. So 1, 2. Here's your new aggressor here, and to be honest with you, I don't really love the volume here, but here's your new aggressor. On a 30-second point, so not as strong here. The seller's still here, by the way, off of the 5-minute context, so that's why I'm not removing this zone, even though the 30 seconds cracked above it. The 5-minute hasn't, so this zone's staying here. Got 2 minutes left. Yeah, so this would be a little disappointing if this doesn't go. I would actually want it to go up now, because if this all of a sudden reverses, I'm going to be like, well, tried. Sell volume tapering here. So in that case, this is showing that the selling is not too strong yet. Still pretty weak. Should be tapping into this little demand zone at 80s, which if I could play 1 contract, but I don't know. I don't want to overtrade today, so that's how that's going. All right, so still knocking on the door of this liquidity up here. If we do this, I feel like this gets ran through pretty quick, and I'm gonna sell at the top of this range up here. So this is where I kind of want to be a seller again at the 627. Might even front run that a little bit. 627. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We got to get there first. All right, so on the other strat here, we're down about 70 points. I did average down on this trade barely. It wasn't too crazy, but I still think it works pretty good. But it's all good. This strat's borderline automated, so I'm not even too worried about it. Yeah, here's your crack right here. So even on those 4 that I had to take on the chin a little bit, I want to be very picky. It's true I could have held these, but what happens if it runs 20 points, right? I'm holding a bunch of contracts. It's like, yeah, the idea does still work, but you can't hold it. I want these reactions to be, I want them to be quick. I want it to be like this. You see this buyer right here that tapped into? This is what I want to be like.
Order filled.
Buying 2 here. Just cause. I probably shouldn't though. This is getting to overtrading territory here because this isn't accompanied by a 5-minute buyer. Yeah, I should probably crack it, but I'll still wait for him. I got in with the idea. I got to get out with the idea. So, see that buyer is still aggressed here. See what I'm saying? You guys understand that? All right. Yeah. I really don't want to hold this position, but I'm kind of already in it. All right, so new seller aggressed here. So now we have a new seller here again. The next golden zone here again. So I'm going to cut this trade. Tapping up into it. So again, could short it 88 level. Could short it 88. Not real buying yet. Real buying kind of got taken. I still want to say this gets swept. This is your real buyer right here, though. So if this dude holds on from here to here. Oh, what about this guy? No, not this guy. Here to here. This is your real buying. Sorry, I misprinted that. Wait. 1, 2. Yeah. This is your real buyer. Right here. I don't want to get involved yet. I'm going to wait. Wait to get out of the top of this range here. Because otherwise I'd still be going short right here. And with how we're pressing up against this window, I don't necessarily want to go short there. I want to wait for this buyer to aggress here. I might even go long with the buyers. If we get a nice enough buyer here. What are we at? 3 minutes left on this 5-minute? Yeah. We'll see. New selling liquidity up here. Big buy. Yeah, I might join the bid here. Might join the bid. This is not a recommendation. I'm testing a theory of, let me see, range here. So if we aggress the seller, I'm trying to see if 1-to-1 works. 613.25. So this is going to be interesting. Because if we aggress the seller on a 2-bar break, good volume. This is great volume. Can I at least get 1-to-1 on this break? Because that's going to be good going forward. So I'm going very small here. We should find some good plays though. We got some big sell orders up here. I would love for us to fly up here. Got some nice gold. When they get all orange like this, when golds overlap, oh, that's a haven right here. I'd actually front run this pretty heavy. All right. Okay. So let me see here. Is this 5-minute buyer gone yet? 50. We see we tapped up into that liquidity pull up here. We'll see if we continue to aggress that. Very interesting price action day. It's kind of clubbled below the pre-market low. Slowly kind of came up. Not really a buying aggressor yet. You do have a bigger buyer aggressor down here, but still like catching a lot of flack from the seller here. A lot of selling, but the buying's just, the demand is just continuing to increase. So here we are. We're gonna see how this closes. I would like to see us kind of crack out of this range a touch. Playing the extreme to these ranges though, we'll see. Sorry guys, I had you on the wrong screen. Crack out of these sellers right here a touch. This is a little bit of a fair value gap though, isn't it? Yeah. Boom. Yeah. For selling, for me, it's this whole thing. It's from here to here. This is your selling liquidity. That's your selling liquidity right there. So we have a big block of sellers to go through, which is why I'm shorting up at the 28s. You can't really see it, but up here, towards here, I got a bunch of sell orders. So if we look, this is reflected in the same screen. 27, 28. Also long. I'm fine holding this one to the ground, though. It'd be fine if we go down. Well, maybe not 40 points. I don't really want to go down 40 points, but we'll see. All right, I am gonna change this music, and I'm gonna go get a cup of coffee. I think it's time. It's time I go get a cup of coffee. This price action is really tough because when we rip through a seller, oh, by the way, the seller's gone now. So now I can officially remove that seller. We just have this buyer. And we're going to see, compared to the buying volume, how this buying volume actually increases here. So far, flagging up. So this is a new buyer aggressing again. That's a little bit of an anomaly there. Yeah. So here we are. I'm gonna leave this trade intact. You see my buy orders. You see my sell orders. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get my coffee rolling. Hopefully we don't blast through the 27s while I'm gone. So I'll be right back.
Order filled. 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 Order filled
I haven't been talking this whole time. I'm sorry, guys. I've been talking, but my mic's been off. So, new buyer aggressing. The 30-second situation happened here. I basically was talking about how maybe I should hold it for like another 15 seconds just because it's happened twice to me now. But we cracked that level. It is what it is. I'm going to be looking. So we have a new... yeah. Yeah, I'm pointing the mouse around. You see me flick the mouse all around. You're like, dude, this guy is... He's tilting right now. He's quiet, but his mouse is flying everywhere. So this is the trap. The trap did work. I got a late fill on the trap. I don't know if I came back for you guys to hear that. I'm trying to get one maybe at 583 if it comes back down. I'm gonna take one at 583. Get my average. My average should be close to about break even. So, yeah, running into that selling. What else did I talk about? Oh, so we did crack. I did buy up into that gold range there. I'm gonna try and be a little more selective. This one I'm really interested in selling, but from our this gold zone here, really interested in selling. But from the bull trap perspective, the bear trap, here's the bears that are trapped. This is saying that we run all the way up to 651. So that's going to be something for me to consider, and going to have a look at that. So if 6051 is the actual player, that kind of correlates with the back end of this liquidity here. Oops, don't want to move that. So this makes it a little difficult. I may want to move this guy up to here. Let's see, 651. I may want to move that guy up to there. I am going to front run this guy a touch, though, this back end of this liquidity, because I think we can go here and then here. But yeah, this is going to be pretty heavy. All right. Buy volume was here. If this guy gets swept, this is going to be very interesting to see what happens. By the way, we're getting our liquidity kind of taken up a little bit more on the 5 minute. 5 minutes still really active, though. All right, now I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. That's what I said right before I unmuted my mic. I said I was going to go get a cup of coffee, and then I went to mute my mic, and I'm like, oh, wait, I've been muted this whole time. Spectacular. All right, let's see if we can come down a little bit. So my fill is 83. 83 for my second fill on the bear trap. So we're still in the selling liquidity up here. I still want to get in here. I'm assuming the bidders are going to try again, squeeze these shorts, and then they're going to run into that other liquidity. So the seller did aggress though. So this is again your new seller right here. Three seller here. So this is a full-fledged new seller on that zone. Let's keep an eye out here. We might be coming down to this liquidity down here pretty soon. Sooner than I think. The buying did increase here, so I actually need to mark this as well. So we do have a buyer here. And then if the buy increased, yeah. Okay, so this is going to be green. And now I can mark out these zones here, which will actually work. Let's see, boom, increase. So here's one of your buyers right here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Here we go. And then we have another one here. Nope. This is the only one. So this was a buy area after that 5 minute closed. This is a selling liquidity. So these players are kind of running into each other right now. It's war. It's war, lads. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. Still, this is questionable to be a buyer still. I prefer to, when they got big ranges like this, it gets a little tricky. But all right. I will be back. Thank you guys for liking the video, by the way. Appreciate it. All right. All right. So I don't want to play with any of this. You would call this, I think, internal liquidity. I'm trying to be a little bit more on the outsides here. This feels a little bit better for me to take sells from. I'd rather scale in. I think I'm going to switch this around a touch. Be a little bit more like this. There we go. Sell 10 at the back end of that. Like this is what we'll do. Thinking if we crack the back end of this dude, we should wick into this area here. Double wick. Come back into this area. That's my assumption. So, all right. These guys are still active. It's a battle. I could range this. I might range this. Should I range this with like basic liquidity here?
Order filled.
I'll buy one, and then I'll sell it here. It's gonna be the one time I get dumpstered on. Can't be. I'll buy another one. All right, if this guy cracks him out. 10 seconds. If he cracks him out. Didn't crack. Fingers on the trigger. He cracks, I'm out. All right, so 83 is my fill for the other account here. There it is. So I got filled on the other one. You heard me get filled on the other one. So let's see, 5 seconds left. We crack them. I'm gonna give myself a few seconds though. 5 seconds on this crack. If I give myself 5 seconds, that might be a little actually. Let's see. See? This is crazy. How many am I in for? 2? Oh, that's nothing. We're fine here. I'm gonna take one off there. Because we can't get above this dude. Got my coffee though, this is nice. Okay. So let's have a little peek over here. Technically I should be out of this trade to be honest with you, but that is a new seller that aggressed. Yeah, I'm gonna cut that one. All right, so I'm just gonna stick to. I'm getting a little over tradey here. This is getting over tradey zone for me. So over trading, I said I wasn't gonna do it. It's too hard to play the internal 30 seconds. I prefer to be short here because there's overlap at 604 rather than being a buyer. No, there was a little overlap here. All right, this music's driving me crazy. Driving me insane. Uh-oh. No ads. I get over my other account. So I was correct about the buyer, kind of, but this is just getting a little slippery. We're slipping outside of the areas, kind of back up, but we slip outside the areas. I might as well just chill, wait for it to come and hit one of my liquidity levels around here instead of trying to play this slippery, slidey zone here. So I'm going to stay like that. All right. Here we go. There we go. More chill jazz for me this morning. I mean, it's being reflected on the 5. You see the price action here, right? I mean, the price action is not too pretty. By the way, we did tap in and got that second one down here at 83, right there, right at the bottom of that. So our average got filled right where I wanted it initially, which was at the close of that bar. So now I can actually put in a stop here, which would be roughly 3 points below this, 63. We're going to go 60.75. Wow, that's good enough. Okay, so looking for a 651 here. Yeah, 15 minutes not giving me anything yet. You have a little bit of an anomaly here. 15 minute. Yeah, that's that. So kind of a low volume pullback here on the 5 minute. It's looking a little scary. So if I'm holding shorts, let's see here at the 27.30 level, 27.30 level. This is where my shorts go here. So I almost feel better about shorting into maybe like this 37 area. Again, not a ICT trader, but that kind of looks juicy. I mean, technically, this is a fair value gap too. Got 3 of them. This was one. And you have this one right here, this little midget one. What is this, 20? Yeah, it's about where I'm shorting, right? 27 to 30. That's exactly where I'm shorting. I don't mind that. I'll short there. I'll stay. Volume tapered on the 5-minute here. So not a new seller. If anything, buying still looks juicy. I'm not gonna get. I'm gonna play a little more. Like I said, I got my plays up here. I want to play where this overlap is. Got all my zones up here. All the zones I need. This one looks good too. This little 95 area looks great. Feeling pretty emotional right now with his music. Feeling kind of like, what do you say? Like I'm sitting at a cafe by myself during a breakup. Or actually just getting over a breakup. There we go. Bring me out of this, guitar player. Increase in selling. Sellers dredging into this buying liquidity here. This is basically, it's got some K-pop vibes to it right here. So this is all 5-minute liquidity here, so I'm not tapping into this range yet. We see that that seller was still active here, shorted, came up again, tried to go, shorted, sub. Yeah, still nothing I could really, I don't want to play between these two guys right now. I want to see one of them get taken and then maybe dredge into that guy a little bit. Let's see us flush into some liquidity. I don't really want to play right in the middle. Not when it's unclear like this. It's a little unclear here. Oops. The seller is trying though. Here's your new seller. Boom, boom, boom. Says right here. Boom, boom, boom. I'll mark them, but really it's not going to be. These guys are very likely to get ran through, but here's your seller. Buyer is still over here. This is that initiate over here that's been holding on this whole time. So this is your buyer. Been holding on. He was all the way up here, and then it got dredged into, and now he's getting dredged into again. So if he cracks, then yeah. What do we got? You technically have a little bit of a buyer here. All right, so this guy's gone. I buy here.
Order filled.
Yeah. I'll buy one. So double aggressor. Pocket. Boom, boom. Oh, that's a big aggressor. Dang. So these sellers are really trying here. Sellers are really trying. Let's see. A little overlap here at 88. I don't mind that. 88 level looks juicy. That is it. That we're gonna see on this 5-minute though. Let's see how this bar closes. If the volume's light, it really doesn't matter. All this really is invalid. See, buyer right here. Boom, boom. There's that liquidity. Don't mind these yellow zones. I hope this isn't getting too confusing. These yellow zones are sellers, not buyers, but I can't mark them as red, so I'm just going to get rid of them. But just know that there's some selling volume over here. Now, would I like to get out up at the 89 area? $89 was what I was looking for. 89. Yeah. 89. Still fill 89. All right, now if I slip through this area and get stopped out on this one, this is another break. I trading traps into breaks. This is an aggressor here. New volume here on the short side. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. So here, this is all short player now. Up to here. Probably gonna cloud. Man. All right, so let's see what we got here. We got a double overlap here, which is actually kind of nice to go short again that 600 level. Here, yeah, I don't like that volume. I'm gonna cut out of there. This guy's getting aggressed.
Order filled.
This is okay. So I got stopped out on that trade, by the way.
Order filled.
And I got filled here on the 3 down here. It wicked into that liquidity. Let me see here. Get rid of this dude here real fast. All right, so really I want to buy our 40. So let's see if we get down to 40. Big sell. All right, so this 5-minute close. It's not a 5-minute close, but this guy's gone. All right, so that guy's gone. We're tapping into some of this liquidity down here now. This is the liquidity I wanted to get to initially. See if I can get my 40 fill. And really that 36 area is where I'm expecting a big flash and grab from. So right in this pocket, right here. 37. I'm gonna farm on that a touch, but so whoops, let me take this guy out. So big seller though. I mean, so this is a massive seller. Sorry guys, keep screwing you. Rolled through, cut through, tap me my fill. I have a buyer down here, the 38. All this overlap down here is where I want to get. I need to get better at having these screens matched up appropriately. I need to like have something that says what screen I'm on that's loud. It's really tough to tell with the software. So on this, if this is a 2-bar break here, as long as the volume gets above some of this volume here, which it looks like it's going to, I could actually go short. So see how that works out. Other than that, almost got filled here. Oh my goodness, you're kidding me. Look at this. 1 tick. I don't want the second one. That was the first one I wanted. So that would have been 9. That would have been a 20 point tap right there by 1 tick. Unbelievable. That's the worst. I'll go lighter. We get down here again. We'll go a little light. I'm not gonna go. I went 9 because I wanted that first pump, but that is just unbelievable. Let's go 5 here. I'll buy that. There we go. All right, let's see if this zone breaks here. This little sweet spot breaks here. I'm out for sure. Tapped right in there. I know there's liquidity here. All right.
Order filled.
7 seconds. Should be liquidity here. Should be. We saw it here initially. All right, let's see if this one holds now. Come on, lad. It's pretty heavy though. So, not okay. This guy. That guy was getting a little too crazy there. That piano. So big bar here. Big bar here. So as long as this bar doesn't get above 40 points, should be pretty solid. Oops, I need to cover a couple here. Sorry.
Order filled.
All right, I'm gonna sell a few here.
Order filled.
We tapped that zone. That's exactly where I wanted to be at in that zone there. How much did I sell? 5 left. We'll go to 4.
Order filled.
There we go. Stay at 4. And then we got our seller up here. All the way. 600s is where I want to see. Well, let's see here. Increase, increase, increase. That's kind of tricky, actually. 600s is kind of loud. We got 20 seconds left in this candle. If this buyer goes, I extend this seller here. So we're going to see. Tapped right into that demand area down there, though. Beautiful. That's the trade I wanted. All right, so this guy's gone. I'm going to sell 1 more, 2 more, actually.
Order filled.
All right. We come back down into this area again. I'm going to buy down here again, so. Might even front run it a little bit. What do we have? Increased buyer here. So this is a new buyer. Yeah, that was a money shot right there. I knew it was going to be good. How much was that bounce? Almost 30 points right off the rib. For a scalp, that's pretty good, right? Scalping, that's where you want to be. Just caught that. All right, so where am I here? Let's have a look here. Okay, wick was bigger than halfway. Volume was nice. But since that wick is bigger than halfway, I don't take this first one here. Yeah, I don't take the first one here. But if the second one comes in clean, I'll take that whole move here to the downside. So, let's see here, 38. I'm going to buy another 5 down here. 30, let's see, maybe 40. Okay, I'm going to front run it a touch in the second batch. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining, by the way. Streaming Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 9:30 Pacific. Trading 2 different kinds of strategies here, so I get a little, it's hard enough to trade 1. Trading 2 consecutively can get tricky. But here we are catching this bounce. I would like, so I do have to extend this down, but I'm going to hold it here for right now because that hasn't, let's see, where are our new sellers up here? Boom, boom, boom. So this is the one here. There's a little gold zone here. And then we have boom, boom. Let me see. Boom, boom. Perfect. All right. So the 600 level, that's going to be looking good to short too. Or we got kind of that overlap. Get back into there. And maybe some of that up there. So. Still on this the house brew account. I can't really do much here. Waiting for 1 more bar. If it flips red, I'll take the 3rd one short. So we got 2 minutes left in that candle. We'll see how that one works out. Buy volume tapered there. Selling did increase really heavy up here. So there's a lot of selling that happened up here in this action right here between these 2 bars, but can't mark that zone yet. Take 1 off there. Hold on to this last one. See if we get a push up to the 80s. I don't think I'm gonna hold it into 600s, but I'll hold it for right here. All right. Two stop outs, man, on the house brew strat. So that's kind of peculiar. I think my should be getting some moves here pretty soon. We're due for a win here. 2 stop outs can happen. 3 stop outs consecutively. That's kind of, if I get a day like that where I get like 6, 7 bad trades on this strategy, the next 2 days are like gold mines usually. All right, so down here again. We're gonna see. I am gonna look to take this short on about 50 seconds with this candle. So I'm gonna have an idea there. Not a recommendation, by the way. Please trade at your own risk. And then I almost got filled for these 5. I tried to front run these 5 here. I just missed it by 3 points. I still think it comes down though. We'll see. But now that it came down there, I kind of want to be in the back part of this a little bit more. I want to kind of be back down here. This 36 level. Yeah, right here. With 38. I was front running it at 40, but yeah, we'll go right here. Yeah, so it missed me. This is I was still playing kind of conservative, but if this thing rolls over again, we crack this. So I might want to go a little lighter here, but we'll see. Also, 5 minutes left in this bar on the 15 minute. 15 minutes cracking too. So bottom pivot, low, increase volume. If we get this bar to shove down, get a little higher volume in this next 5 minutes here, get a little shove down, this is going to be a short setup for me on the 5 and the 15. So I'm going to go for 2 contracts there. So that'll be interesting. With all of that context in mind, I'm going to cut this trade off and I'm going to lower my risk here. I'm going to go 2, maybe, yeah, we'll go 2 down here at this little 37 spot right here. Cut my trade short there just in case. Just in case. This could still go up. This is our aggressor here, but let's see how this context works out. So not bad. We're getting closer. We're almost positive from a $600 negative start this morning. I honestly traded well last night. I just had a couple kind of like the 30-second things that happened here. Like I was in the right spot. They just cracked. I followed my rules. Had to take like a $250 spill. So I'm trading with I was trading with 5 minis. And then it cracks in my direction, and I was just like, oh gosh, I gotta get a little better at managing those. But besides that, all right, let's see here. New buyer. I mean, you can consider this a new buyer from that perspective, but really not. We can call this a new buyer yet. And buy volume tapering here, so still get short at 70. None of this is real buying yet. This is still buying from the previous buyer over here. And there's a big buyer from is this pre-market? Yeah, the pre-market open. So got close to that gap fill a little bit. So 2 minutes 30 seconds left in this 5 minute and 15 minute bar. We should get some action here. Still, this is kind of an anomaly. I don't know if I consider this real buying yet. Definitely not in our zone here. Yeah. There's your little short there, 68 I said, but it was a 67.25. It's only 5 points. Let's see if this bidder tries to take it up here. I have a little peek here. That was the third bar. So on this 50 minute, I'm actually supposed to be in short here.
Order filled.
So I'm gonna go short here. We got here 598, 601.25. So, and I don't know why I didn't get short here. So this is the tough part about streaming and trading 2 strats is there's this. I mean, this did work out in my benefit a little bit, but still this strategy is not too hard to trade, so it shouldn't even be this difficult. 1 minute left in this 15 minute bar. Huge bottoming wick here. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out in the end. Let's see here. Kind of tapping back up into those 80s. Where are we at? I said 68 levels right here. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of tricky here again. So this buy increase. So this gets moved all the way down here. And then I can officially dredge these guys here. Yeah. So this is that sell volume we're running into right here. Buyers are trying to take it up. I might take a few here.
Order filled.
See if we run back to the lows here. And then with this overlap up here, I'm gonna front run this one a little bit too. All right, just in for 4 here. All right, let's keep an eye out. Let's keep an eye out here. So short here from 69. Oh, wow. 505 is going to be the take profit. And if this bar ends up going red, we should see a bigger flush here. Still going to go light on the buying here on this zone. This is still a buyer, but you know, first tap was the best. If we come back down into it again, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Boom, 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 boom. This is a little bit of a gold zone here, though. Keep it an eye. All right, a little bit of selling that happened. I probably could have covered some there, but that's all right. Front running this. Sell volume tapered, so not really real selling here. Buy volume did increase. We're tapping up into this liquidity right here. They're pretty wide liquidity levels here for that. Still like almost 10 points. This is like 18 points on the, or 13 points on the 32nd bar, which is quite a bit actually. So tap back up in here a little bit. I should cover a couple here. I'll cover one. See if we can come back down into this liquidity of the 52s maybe. Take another one there just by the bidder scooping it up a touch. I'm going to be full out here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh! All right, well, I missed that a little bit, but that's all right. So we got out of that trade. We're almost green on the day now. Again, you do have a slight bidder here at 52. The volume's very low, though. I don't really trust him. I'm going to be honest. I'd prefer to be a buyer back down here again at this 38 level. I may, just with how the volume's going, I may get back in here again. Try and hit a sweet spot here if we kind of come up. Let's see, I'll play 30. Yeah, really tricky. It's gonna be tough to get a fill here. If we do get a fill here, I mean, we're knocking on that door, right? So we'll see. As you can see, the liquidity's here. I already knew it before it got there as we wicked into it. So that's the nice thing about this new theory is that you find liquidity. This is the bottom line. Find liquidity using price action and volume. I mean, it's fantastic. No indicators, no anything. I mean, I'm not hating on indicators. It's just, I mean, to be honest with you, I would prefer having an indicator that draws all this stuff out for me. That way I don't have to draw it. That would be lovely. The context is important though. So again, we tapped up into that range again. It probably could have shorted again from there, but this buyer's still active down here too. So boom, range. We're gonna see. I got my plays in. Got my plays in a little bit. I might front run this 45 level a touch. Go light. Go light here. Just in case we flash and do another like third tertiary pump here. Yeah, see what happens. I go get another cup of coffee. That might happen. All right, so this 15-minute bar, I mean, we're early on into it. 10 minutes left, but if we do get a nice little third candle down, I'm going to be looking to take this whole measured move down. So we've kind of been hanging out in with 627 to 5. Oh, that's not too bad. About 100-point range, but still 100-point range isn't too crazy for the day. Still pretty chill. Yeah, they're kind of indecisive. The market's going to go try and find some external liquidity right now. I believe that this is some external liquidity right here, but 462 is going to be that next level. All right, should see a little rollover. Let's see. See if we get a little flash and grab here. See this? Didn't that look flaggy? Flaggy, boom, flash and grab. So let's see if we get it. I have 5 order down there. I want my 5 lot to get filled. This buyer is still active. Let's see. There's still some juice left in the sell. New seller, what do you call it? Aggressing. There we go. All right, this guy's gone. Let's see. See if we get down here a little bit. I prefer the first sell, so now I'm going to play this a little bit more to the tick. Go 45 on the money. If this seller gets blown through, though, and we close above the seller, which would be surprising, this could be very interesting. I don't think he will, personally.
Order filled.
Sell one here.
Order
Just because
filled.
I don't believe him. It's only 4. All right. Don't believe it yet. If this closes above this candle, though, I'm out of these 3. $13 left. Let's see. Let us see. 5, 4, 3. Ooh, uptick in volume. So this buyer is aggressing. Okay, so buyer aggressive shorts. This is how the cookie crumbles. We have a new gold zone here. Let's see how this retraces. All right. Well, little stabs here. We're getting close. Let's go kind of light. So the idea was big short volume here on this candle. Expecting, when we retrace this much, expecting this still to be kind of a block. So sold into that a little bit. And then when we had the uptick in volume here, this buyer aggressed the situation and closed above that short. I said, all right, that's a double out for me. So getting out of that situation. Now we do have a retest to the extreme here. So if we break the downtrend here now or get any kind of traps down here, we're going to be looking to play the upside. Can't really see it, but we do have this retest. Boom, up, retest. Retest now. We can get ready to look for some longs if we get some breaks. So tapped right back up to that player again. Right here, rejected right off of him. And I could have been a player there. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest with you. It's been working. Oh yeah, this is a new buyer, that's why. Here. Let's see. We're just kind of duking it out right now. Both of these guys can be a buyer here to a 53. Play back up to the 68s. If we break through this seller, I'm going to get a little heavy here. I might play the back end of this guy a little bit, but this is your liquidity, so we'll see. This is really delicate music for getting close to the edge of the market low here. Feel like it's a glass wall. Like, nah, we need war music. Nah, I'm just kidding. Let's see here. All right, I need to switch this whole thing up. First off, I need to get on Google Chrome because this is just not. There we go. Let me get that out of the way. All right. There we go here. No more ads. And then I need to get some actual There we go. A little more my speed here. All right. There we go. So yeah, it could have been the bidder there again. You do have, I don't know. This is just kind of back and forth in this range. You do have the players here, but to the tick, but this guy kind of got inched to a little bit too. Now, if we crack this buyer still trying to take it up, it's like, all right, well, they've tried to take up this whole time. Should I be front running? That's the question. Because if I'm front running it now, so that becomes a little sketch. So, I mean, I still I may want to back end this a little bit. Nah, I'm still gonna put this here. I just don't know if I want to front run this one. I would have preferred right here for it to crack. I'm gonna keep that out of there for right now. I'm gonna go 1. Go 1. So again, we have that new buyer aggressing here. Sellers are trying. I love this area up here for a short. This if I was more of a man, right here, right in this little pocket, I would short the bejesus out of this thing. Love that. Love that when there's overlap like that. Yeah. Like this. This has that same overlap. Just bounce right off of it. Beautiful. All right, I know you need to go get another cup of coffee here. Taking a look over here at the short still. We're still active in the short. 15 minutes, got 3 minutes left in this bar. If this bar goes red at all, I have to take the short. As long as even if the bar is above 50%. Even if the bar is above 50%, I still take it. As long as it's not a doji. As far as the 5 minutes going here, is there any traps? Did I miss any context of anything? No. No, everything's been pretty standard here. Yeah, can't really do much. But I'm gonna take another one short off a 15-minute. Hopefully I don't think I'm misreading this, to be honest with you, but it has been those 2 failures. I mean, they happened, but if I go for a 3rd failure, 4th failure off context, I might scratch this pattern for the day, scratch the strap for the day, and just give it a little bit. Just wait till tomorrow, because usually when I miss 2, 3, 4, I've even back tested like 6 straight losses, which is extremely rare. It's like 6 straight losses on this strategy is like, it's like 1 out of 100 days, pretty much. But when I do back test like that, usually the next few days are just bangers, just straight bangers. So the nice thing about knowing that from back testing is maybe like, I'm down 285, which is about, 140 points. If I didn't know that through back testing though, I would be more antsy. I would be feeling like, oh man, I want to get this money back. I can't believe I'm down. For me, I'm like, oh, okay, well, you guys doing this today, I know tomorrow is going to be fantastic then if you guys are going to screw me today. That's good with me. I'll take it. So just gonna be waiting until that happens, but that's the idea. It's nice to have that psychology because I'm not really stressing at all. We're into the shorts. I run the shorts. If it doesn't give it to me today, it's gonna give it to me tomorrow or Wednesday. It's gonna have to give it up sometime. And usually when this strat really works, it's really working. I mean, I'll take, $300 to between $200 and $400 loss days sometimes. This is a little exaggerant because I doubled down on 2, so really I should only be down maybe like 180, 160. But the days that I make money on this strategy, it's insanity. It's like off micros, we're making $1,000 plus, which is crazy. All right. All right, this is an aggressor from that standpoint, but you can see it when you put this up and then you have that first first bar here. So you can see this seller's active. I'm just not marking him. But I would like to be interested in maybe selling the 68s again. So we'll see. Let's see, what are we at here? Maybe selling the 65s? Let's try a little bit of that. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna go get a little more coffee. I hope you guys are having a good morning. Don't get caught up in the chop. Don't be flipping your position back and forth, right? If we're looking here, this is kind of bear flag a little bit. Let's just look at a little bit cleaner of a chart here. You look at this bear flag, right? Pull, tracement, coming back, little bear flaggy. Doesn't mean that we're gonna continue though, but we are in the amidst that chop, and you're seeing that chop, right? And really the thing is we have selling and buying happening here. So the market's just trying to decide what it wants to do. And yeah, don't get too caught up in the back and forth. Take a little bit wider points of interest, right? If you're getting chopped up in these little zones here, then there's going to be more opportunity, and maybe the opportunity is not in this level, right? Maybe the opportunity is at another level. So don't get too overworked or overtrade. This is just gonna have some patience, take some breaths. This is a little bit of a bull trap, but not really. I don't count it. No, don't count it. All right, so I was selling one here, but decided not to. Got filled on this wick here, so really thin, very thin. So we'll see if this one gets filled, and if we crack this player, then that's going to be interesting. So I am in short, looking for the 505 area. This one I'm short, and I'm gonna hold it. So we got filled for our 5 right there. Now tapping into that liquidity here. I do want to sell, take a couple off because of the risk right there. Took a couple off there, tapped right back into that zone again, and now we're just seeing if this liquidity is going to hold. So we're starting to really press into this liquidity here. So I took 2 off, limit my risk. The buyer is still really active in this zone here. So this may be the liquidity. I'm going to hold until we crack these players, these 4. And then I'm going to play all the way up into the 600s, hopefully. If not, if we crack them, though, then it is what it is. It just is what it is. Huge seller here. All right, need new buying aggression here. Doesn't look too strong yet. I'm going to sell another 2 there just because of the weakness. We did have the buyers here, though. You can see them at this level. So if these buyers crack and fail, I already took 4 off to limit my risk. And they even start to play a short side a little bit. But until we crack really like this 32 player, I'm still going to hold on to these. So, okay, we cracked most of this internal liquidity. I just want to hold on to this. Most of this is cracked right now. Oops, not that one. All right, most of this is cracked. So this is the last part of this player right here, down at the bottom. You can't really see him here on this 5-minute chart, but you see here, we're tapping into this zone here. There's a ton of buyers here. So for these ones, I do want to play up into the 600s, but I may take them off a touch early. So end up getting the fill right on the money, right on the spot there. So we need new buyers though to come take this up a little bit. So we'll see. Still feel pretty good about 600s, but we're not getting a buyer aggressing this market yet. So this guy, if this guy ends up flipping, this could get a little sketch. Still in on the short on the top step, and oh, I'm supposed to be in a second here. That's a bit of a bummer. See if I get a little bit better of a feel. I have to take it. All right, so hold on a second here. This is not good. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut it when that breaks. Okay, hold on one second. That's what I get for. See, I'm telling you, trading 4 different time frames, 2 different strategies is brutal. All right, so it's the same thing. About the 1-to-1's about the same. It comes down to the 502. I'll just keep it there. This is fine. This is fine. All right. So again, a little bit of a bounce here. Tap it into this area. Want to see a buyer aggressive for it to get up to 600. If we can't crack this player here, this is going to get a little tricky because we are starting to chew up into some of this liquidity. Oops. You see it here on the 5-minute. This got chewed up a little bit there. So there's still a buyer, but this is getting really tricky here. Seller's aggressing into this buyer again, so this buyer is accumulating. But if this buyer gets cracked, we're gonna head a lot lower. So let's see. I'm still gonna hold until we crack 32. And there is still a buyer at 22, but I'm not gonna be that buyer. I'm gonna be playing just this 30 level here. So 5 seconds left. You see the buyer is still active here at this level. Yeah, so we're still holding on. My gut feeling is saying get out of the trade, but at the same time I know that until this guy's gone, there's no need for me to get out of the trade yet if he's still accumulating. So I'm trying to buy with the seller, buy with the buyer, sell with the seller. So here I know there's a buyer, and he's starting to crack into too. So this is gonna be it. If we crack this dude with this little time frame left, we're gonna see. My intuition says this is gonna get ran, and especially because I'm already in the shorts on this other trade. So, so this is saying it's gonna break anyways. But I know that there's a buyer here, so I'm just holding out. Just 2. It's not much. Let's see how this volume comes right here. I'm gonna take out 1 there. Take off 1. Uh-oh. Got a little bit of a reversal here. Bear trap on the 5-minute. Still can't get into that on the 15 or the 5, but that is a bear trap on the 5. So it's gonna be something to keep an eye out on. I have a really wide margin here, so this thing can come all the way back up to 600. Could have kept in for 2, but I want to hold this thing until 600. I want to see if we can get up there. This is a new buyer again, so a buyer aggressed. This is a new gold zone here. All right. Good morning, Trader DLS. How are you? We're close. I'm break even right now if I take profits. All right, cracking into a little bit. If we rotate up to this liquidity, though, we're gonna have that big liquidity at 602. We're starting to chew into this a little bit. I could try and become a buyer again at 542. It's possible, but a lot of this, so a lot of sellers sold into that, a lot of selling liquidity, and a lot of it got eaten up by the buyers. But if you cannot, this is a new buying interest from here to here. This is a new buyer trying to take it up. But if you can't get new buying interest above this level, a lot of this liquidity is just going to offload back into the seller. And it's like, all right, how much does he have left? He already chewed up a lot. He's probably feeling kind of full after that dump. Probably a little appetite left, but We're going to see what happens. I would like to hold up to the 600. We'll see what happens. I'm going to try and be disciplined with this one. Play up to that liquidity. I'll crack 32. Otherwise, this one's going all the way up to 600, I feel. And 20 seconds left. This is a bear trap right here. So I can't, for myself and my strategy, I can't get into this bear trap, but it is a bear trap. So, well, it would be a bear trap. It would be a great bear trap if it gets up to these bodies up here. And it didn't. So, sorry, I'm holding on to this last one. 32 is the level. We either crack that or I fold. So some of this new buying liquidity is getting taken, putting a lot of pressure on this buyer again. Notice how it's not really reacting the same. It's kind of being a little lighter, not as wicky. When you know there's big wicks like this, you know that buyer's really demanding. When they're starting to close a little bit more kind of in here, we're really starting to chew and dredge into this buyer. So let's see what happens. Again, chewing into some of this liquidity. If I was going to take a buy anywhere, it would be right there at 42. But there's a new seller that aggressed into this area as well. Could actually, I don't know. Yeah, no. All right, still going to hold on to this one though. We start cracking 32, I'm going to be out. That's the level. Cracking into some of this liquidity again. Putting a lot of pressure here. Right here. Sorry guys, wrong screen. Yes, yeah, 32. 32 is the level. Cracking in, started to shunk into this liquidity a little bit. New seller here. Tapped into the zone again. Now, if this buyer just continues to eat up, which it doesn't look like he's eating it up, but I don't know. Got two different buyers here. You got the what is this? The pre-market buyer. This is the gap buyer right here. This is the gap buyer. Market wants to fill this gap, I'm assuming. And then you have a buyer from where was the other? Oh, buyer here, and then the new buyer trying to aggress on a bigger time frame here. So probably likely that the market's going to want to fill this gap. This whole buyer is still active here. Tempted to cut it right here, but I'll hold on. Gotta stay a little disciplined here. It's good practice. I don't know if this holds. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like this is gonna crack. Still having a hard time finding buyers up here. Thank you guys for liking the video, by the way. Appreciate you stopping by. I look forward to getting my camera. I'm gonna start doing so today. I'm gonna start trying to do recaps today. So I'm gonna have a new channel. The channel's basically just gonna say something along the lines of it'll probably be this channel's name, and oh, here we go. Here's the crack. See that crack? Look at that. Buyer's still scooped, but that's what I don't want. I don't want a 20-point bar on a 30-second candle. This is why I'm saying it's a little eerie here. So I don't know if that's technically, I don't think that's gap fill, right? It's not a gap fill, but that's the tip of the gap right there. You see how strong, look at that vibe volume. Look at this volume here. Insane volume. Right down there to the stream. Algo's kicked in again. You could flush this thing. I'm still gonna hold on, being disciplined here. But yeah, I didn't really feel disciplined when it came down to 20. If I was holding on to like a full mini when that happened, can you imagine? What was that? 20 points instantly? All right, here we are. We're closed now. That guy's gone. All right. Well, maybe he's hanging on by a thread. We'll count that though. About to hold on for as long as I could there. All right, so we're still in those shorts here. We're looking for that 505. See if we can get that 505 level. It's gonna be. See if we can get it. See if we can pick that apart a little bit. It does look a little flaggy, but 4 seconds might get this big drop here on this 15-minute and 5-minute right here. So let's have a look here on see the reaction here. Should get some big reactions here. All right, here's a little bit. This guy's getting caked. Here we are. So we can get that drop actually. Look at that volume seller there. That's just intense. So from here to here, your seller aggressing. So you're assuming 38 is going to be the short, but that's without the 5-minute context. This is an anomaly new aggressor on the buying side. But here's your seller. See, he's starting to sell into that a little bit, sell into that buying a little bit. We're going to see. If that thread, this is why I got to stay disciplined all the way around. But see how there's a little bit of room here? So there's just like a sliver. So I wasn't, and technically the gold went down all the way down here. Really tough, right on the line of 32. Remember I said 32? So this is a tough thing about this strat. Tap back up into some of this liquidity up here. But yeah, tough thing. Still had to get out, but you see the buyer aggressing still here. See that? Right in that zone. I still don't want to play him. I don't necessarily want to play the buyer here. I prefer to play the seller. I prefer for us to go up to 600 or even this level up here and start selling up here. Really up here. 602? Oh yeah. Put me in. I'm gonna start selling at 598. I'm gonna sell before that too. Probably go like start selling and scaling in here. 94, 98, and a big one at 602. All right, new buyers aggressing again. Well, I stayed disciplined. It just didn't work. This has happened to me how many times now where I get the close on the 32 and then we rip away from it. It's all good though. So this guy's gone. Seller's officially gone. So we took out a seller. They put some new buyers here again. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three here. 1, 2, 3 here. Dude, that zone down there is just holding. Look at this. Question is, should I be buyer down there again? I don't think so. But it is holding. According to the strat, this level is the level. Just don't know if I could do it. I got the cojones to do it. Alright, about one there. Alright, buy a couple here. Alright, let's see. Got new buyers aggressing. 29's the level now. Crack 29, I'm out. Try and hold this. I'm really going to try and hold this up to 602. If we don't crack 29s. Buyers trying to aggress here a little bit. The selling came in, but it was big, but it wasn't heavy. So, still not too scared yet. Need to see some new buyers step in. How close am I? 47 away from being break even on the day. It's close. All right, so tapped up right to that level, rejected off pretty heavily. 15-minute is kind of just dousing. Below pre-market lows, I should only be looking for shorts here on this strategy. So I'm going to continue to look for shorts. I'm going to go get some fruit and maybe a piece of toast. Sounds pretty good. And actually, I'm make sure my first appointment, what time my first appointment's at. I might have to be off here a little sooner than expected. All right, so back over to here on this level. This buy volume is tapering. So if we can't find a new bidder here from here to here, I'm probably going to take one off. Let's see what happens here. It's not great. It's not great volume, but it is a new bidder. But it's not clean. It's a tough thing about managing this position. I can't really go away from the screen right now. I have 10 points, but it's tricky. All right, 1 second left. Low volume seller. Add one to the long here. See if the seller picks up. If the seller picks up, it's going to be kind of scary, but I should have added here, or I should have added at 41 level. So that wasn't even a bad add at 38. So seller is aggressing here. 7 seconds left. We'll see if this buyer gets scooped up, and all those guys got scooped. All right, let's see. Here we go. Take one off here. Yeah, this is your seller here that we need to get over right here. This guy right here. Need to crack him and hold. Cracking him's not enough. Crack and hold. There you go. All right. All right. Let's go see now. See if we go tap these 60s. New buyer, I guess. Big buyer. All right, we got 5 minute, 5 minute. Pretty wiki. See the buyer still active. Get up to 68. Where's my Dom at? Let's see if we get a little toe tap here. Oh, love tapping the 68. There we go. All right, well, that's working. Hopefully it doesn't dumpster to the earth. I mean, on my other account, I hope it does, but on this one, open for a little love here. One, still that that seller isn't too aggressive yet. We did tap into some of that liquidity here, but that's aggressive right there. We'll see if this guy gets scooped up. If not, it's 36 level. I really don't want to hold two lots here. Hopefully I'm not down like $100, but need to go get something to eat here. Otherwise I'm gonna be famished. I need energy to hold this position. All right, I'll be back. Hopefully I don't die. If I do, what do we got? Cold minutes. I'm just gonna throw some toast in the toaster, and this is all sketchy. This is all sketchy. I'll be back. Okay, cracking back into this level, I see. Bouncing off this buyer, I do think that this buyer is still going to be decent, but I am going to take one off here. After this level got clapped. So, holding on one more. We were down 600 today. I'm currently down 200. $2. Crazy. I still like my plays from last night. Last night plays were decent. I just executed a little bit poor. All right. I think I should clap this. My heart of hearts. I'm not going to. Stay disciplined. 19's level. 29. All right, here it goes. 50.30-second candle. All right, here we go. Oh, let me out of this trade. Oh, wow, look at that buyer aggressed again. It's very interesting. I guess not too interesting, but yeah, 29's the level, so I can't get out till 29. I just hope, you know, if it cracks, it's going to crack with this ferocity. All right. 29. It's holding. This dude's holding. You guys see him, right? I found the liquidity. I found him. Found the player. How big is he? That's the question. That's what we don't know. So that's the one thing you don't know with this strat. You don't know how big he is. We're assuming. We know the player's hand. We know what hand they have. We just don't know how much chips they have. That's the thing. If we knew how much chips they had, then we could really start to assess the position here. But you can kind of see when someone's leading. We just don't know. We just don't know all the way. Huh? Got my monkey up, by the way, so. Juice? Mom's getting some juice. Mom's getting juice. Oh, you want? Oh, I know what you want. Oh. Here, let me go get my. Oh, let me cut my mic real fast, guys. Sorry. All right, 12 seconds left. Let's see. Is this the crack of 29 crack here? Fingers on the trigger. Still accumulating. That's why I can't get out of this trade until he's gone. Dude, this guy is just holding on. What's the pound weight on this rope that he's holding on to? This guy's holding the whole market up right now. Just a beast. With like his pinky. Oh, and we cracked into some of this liquidity over here on the 5-minute. I haven't even been keeping track of that. All the way down here. We cracked that whole dude right there. This guy's gone. That's crazy. That's crazy. I really want to get out of this trade, but I can't. Gotta stay disciplined. This is what you fight your emotions. I'm willing to take a 100-point loss before I get out of this trade. 9 seconds left. This might be the moment. Volume's picking up. You see it on the tape here. Volume's picking up. Oh, he's gone. I need to get out of this trade. Oh! All right, there it is. I held. That's how you stay disciplined right there. Okay, so I don't want to play this level anymore. I'm not going to lie to you. I want it to be short. Somewhere up here. Definitely up there. Hold on 1 second. I know. I hear you, Bob. Give me a second. Got you. All right, let's have a little look over here. See what's going on. So our short's still intact here. We are getting ready to maybe take another short here. Oh, yeah. It is a new low. So 50 seconds left. If this bar goes red, I short another one. If the volume, which the volume did already get up pretty high, but if this bar goes red. So let's have a little look here at the whatever. And we also have a break here. So if this bar goes red again, I'm also going to have to go short 2 more on the 15-minute. 30 seconds left in this 15-minute candle. Let's find out what happens here. All right, here we go. No dojis. I don't want dojis on the 15-minute or the 5-minute. I want a full-fledged bar here. 2, 1. Oh, that one flipped. Is that a doji? I'm going to call that a short. So not a short on the 5, but it is on the 15. I have to measure this bar out differently now, though. Let's see here. Still about this level, about the 501 level. I'm just going to leave it here. So now short 3, not a recommendation. Please trade at your own risk. I'm not a financial advisor. We're going to see if they give this 40 level, but I do have a new cutoff here. What are we at here? 650, so 62, 65.50. All right. Yeah, let's copy. All right. On this level, I don't know how this guy's doing it. This guy's holding on for dear life here. This guy is like, he's impressive. Now, if the seller is starting to get exhausted, this thing could just... So we need to move here. But if this buyer gets taken, probably going to have to cover here a little bit. Let's see. Oh, wow. I'm going to go get the rest of my breakfast. I hope I get filled by the time I come back. I'll let you guys see this one. But in the meantime, yeah, that player is still at 20. You break 22 on the 5-minute. Break 22 on the 5-minute. This buyer's gone. All right, as you guys can see, this buyer is still active down here. What do we got? We are into this level, if you see it from this point of view, right? Still, this isn't real buying. Not yet. This is a buyer from over here buying, but this isn't new aggressive buying yet. So from actually from here to here is. So from here to here, new buying. Okay, there it is. So here's the pocket. They're really trying to take it. I'm actually going to clap this trade on the other top step because I have to go to work. I have an early appointment. I didn't even realize until right now. So, but thank you guys for joining the stream. Appreciate you. We made about 600 back on this one. Here. And we're going to do a little recap here today. Also, I am going to be trading at work because I have a little pocket. So I'm going to finish off the house strategy. I don't think I'm going to trade the this one too much because it's hard to trade on the iPad. But here's your levels, okay? You guys see them? I'm just kidding. So where I would like to get short at is roughly the 600 level, right? If not the 600 level, then up here at the 27th. I'm actually going to have to clap all of it. You guys already see them. 27, 30, 36. Also would like to do a little short of the 600. Also maybe 608 is a little short. Yeah, this buyer is still getting tapped into. So I still think we can get ran through here to the low. I just can't manage the trade. That's why I'm not in it right now. I mean, I technically can manage it, but I cut it because, yeah, whatever. Buyer, 462, 454, and then maybe the 430 area. Those are be buying areas for me. And then next is 266 is going to be down here. So those are some levels, 460s, 430, and then selling up at the 600, 630s. That's what I'm going to be interested in. Not a recommendation. And then we have this nice zone up here towards the 700s. That would be a nice level to hit too. So we're going to see what's going to happen here. It's very interesting. All right. I'm signing off. Hope you guys have a good day. Until next time, see you guys tomorrow if you guys show up. Appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe. We'll be here. Peace.